Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a short little no foundation makeup routine. I do this makeup for work all the time lately. I haven't been wanting to wear a full face of makeup because it's been quite busy and I'm like sweating from running around, and also it is getting hotter outside and it's just making me not really want to wear a full face of makeup to work. So what I've been doing lately is just wearing a no foundation makeup. It's just meant to make me feel more comfortable in my own skin. And I just think it's really important for us to just embrace who we are and love ourselves in our own skin. But you know, there's certain imperfections that not everybody has, like pimples and redness and dark circles. Some people are just blessed with perfect skin and they can wake up and look gorgeous. I've seen it. But I do have some imperfections that I like to gently correct before going out into public. So without further ado, let's just get started. So first of all, we're starting off with moisturized skin, and I have some lip balm on. I'm not going to use a primer because I just don't see the point in using a primer since we're not wearing foundation. And I really don't need this makeup to last that long, just to get through my shift at work. So the first product that we're going to be going into is concealer. Now, I would pick a concealer that is exactly the shade of your skin color. You don't want to go lighter, and of course you don't want to go darker. And we're just going to be covering up some dark circles and some acne scarring. So you want to make sure that it's as close to your natural skin tone as possible, and then it's a medium to full coverage concealer. I find that the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer is perfect. The consistency is perfect, and the color beige is the color I'm using, and that is perfect for my skin. I'm running really low, but what I want to do first is cover up these redness right here. So I have some acne scarring and some redness, and I'm just gonna go and spot correct. Okay, so now I have all my little acne spots covered. I'm also going to put a tiny bit here on my nose just because it's a little redder than normal there. I'm going to put some in my inner corner, and I'm also going to put some on the outer edge, if you can see how pink and red that is there, and then a dot in the middle just to bring it together. And I'm just going to be going ahead and blending out all of that concealer. You want to use like patting motions. That way you don't completely take the concealer off of those acne scars or pimples. You want to just like pat it in there. Okay, so now we're going to be going into blending the nose and the eyes out, and I'm actually going to use my fingers for this just because it'll give it more of a sheer wash than the brush. The brush, we wanted to pat in where the pimples were so that those could stay covered because they're super red, but where I've placed it under my eyes and my nose is just more pink. So we're going to use the warmth of our finger to blend that out. You can bring some up to the middle of your brows if you have any redness there. Sometimes I have a little pinkishness up there. And now we're going to move on to the eyes. And I'm going to try to spread this out underneath, and then I'm going to go ahead and take whatever's left and put it on the lid, because if you can see, I do have some darkness on top of my lid, but I don't want to put more concealer and make it look more unnatural. I don't want to look like I'm wearing makeup today. I just want to look like I have naturally beautiful, radiant skin already. Like, this is how I should have woke up, not like this. That's all I'm trying to achieve. I don't want people to be able to recognize that I'm wearing makeup. Okay, so this is what it looks like when all of the concealer is blended in. As you can see, the color that I used is pretty much my same skin tone. It doesn't look any lighter and it doesn't look any darker, so therefore it looks very natural. It looks like I did not do anything to my face. Like I said before, it looks like this is how I should have woken up. Like, I wish when I woke up in the morning, this is what my skin naturally looked like. It looks like natural skin to me, but we all got pigmentation and problems. Now what I'm going to do is actually take a contour stick. So I'm using this Wet n Wild MegaGlo makeup stick, and it's for contouring, and this is in the shade Oaks on You. So you want to take a stick because it's just going to look more natural. We're not going to use bronzing powder, but we just want to add a little bit of color to the skin, just a little bit of dimension. So I'm just gonna put a tiny bit here, just around the sides of my forehead and obviously under my cheekbone where I would normally contour. I'm gonna put a little bit under my nose, a little bit on my jawline, just a tad. I'm going very lightly with this, a little under my lip, and then I'm also going to take a tiny bit on the sides of my nose. You don't need much because you can just move it around while you're blending it in. So the key to this looking natural is we're going to use our fingers again. So you can really make this look seamless, like it is a part of your skin when you use the warmth of your fingers to blend it in. And I love this contour stick because it's actually very, very easy to blend in with your fingers. Alright, so that is all of the contour blended in. It is super natural. It's not anything that you're going to notice like, hey, she contoured today. It's just giving your skin a tiny bit of color without being too much, and just, you know, creating those shadows that we like to create. So now what we're going to do next is put a little bit of setting powder. As you can see here, I'm very shiny in my T-zone. So what you want to use is a very light powder. It can be translucent if you want, just something that's very lightweight, not full coverage. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photofocus pressed powder. It's in the shade Warm Light, and I like using this powder for light days because it actually isn't the most pigmented in the world, and not too much powder comes off on your brush, so it can look very natural. So I'm just going to put this only in the T-zone very lightly, just so the shine is gone, but we still have that natural finish that looks like skin. And I'm just taking it on my nose and a little bit on the sides of my nose, because when I tend to sweat and get oily, that's where it's really bad. And I'm going to take it on my chin, of course under my eyes, and then also on my eyelids because I do have oily eyelids. And then I'm just going to take some right here where my pores are a little larger, and that's where I tend to also get oily. So it's really just in my T-zone. And we are almost done, guys. The next step that we are going to do is highlighter. I feel like I have a lot of Wet n Wild products here, but that's one of my favorite brands, so I'm going to take a highlighter because even on my natural days I do like to highlight because it just brings like this radiance about your skin, and it just makes you look more beautiful when you have less makeup on, in my opinion. So I'm going to take the Precious Petals Wet n Wild MegaGlo highlighting powder, and you can take any highlighter that you want, and you can also use a stick highlighter or a liquid highlighter might be better, but I do not have a liquid highlighter right now. And the reason why I like this highlighter is because it has this sort of rosy color to it when you are looking forward. It sort of looks rosy, like you have a little bit of like sun kiss, like just a tiny bit of sunburn, and then when you're to the side it looks like a highlight, but for some reason that pinky undertone to it just makes it look really natural and like you're shining because you have a little bit of dew on your face from maybe being in the heat in the natural sun, if that makes any sense. So that's why I love using this highlighter, and I'm gonna put it on the tops of my cheekbones, and I'm gonna try not to go too heavy, and then I'm also gonna take it right here. It's like across my brow, almost making like a C shape here. And now I'm going to take some down the bridge of my nose. And now we're going to just set our brows in place. I'm not going to be filling them in or anything like that, but I do want to make sure that they are tamed and combed and all of that good stuff so I don't look like a crazy hairy mess. So what I'm going to use is the e.l.f. brow gel. This is $2, and this is literally like hairspray for your eyebrows, and it's $2, and it's one of the best brow gels I've ever used because it literally will hold your hairs in place all day long. I'm serious, girl. So I'm just going to brush upwards in the front and then slowly start to turn to the side and then go down. And that's just how I like to do my brow hairs. That's just how they naturally flow, and you want to go with the natural flow of your brows. And then in the front, it's always good to flip them up because it gives them a fuller effect. Now on the other side of this, there is a clear mascara, and sometimes what I like to do is just take a eyelash curler and curl my lashes. That clear mascara on the other side and just coat it very lightly. This is just kind of give you the impression that my lashes are like a little wet and they're like a little doe-eyed. As you can see, it's not harsh. I'm not wearing black or anything. Like black mascara I think would be very harsh with this makeup look, but this just kind of gives it a nice little doe-eyed look. So what I've been loving to do is to wear a nice sheer lip gloss with some shimmer in it, but like in a very natural way. So my favorite lip gloss for this look, and I've been loving this lip gloss in general so much, is the WetnWild lip gloss in the shade Sun Glaze. This camera is not doing its justice. You need to go look at this in stores. It's literally less than $2. I think it's $1.93 at Walmart, but I love the shade because it's golden and it's shimmery, and when you put a light wash of it on your lips, it's just so natural and beautiful and radiant. And of course, now we're just going to set our face so it can be moisturized and set in place and that there's no powdery residue at all. And I'm just going to use the e.l.f. Mist&Set Spray. And here is the finished look, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I seriously love this makeup look. I honestly feel really sexy in it because I just feel so natural, and I mean, if only my skin looked like this naturally, I wouldn't have to wear makeup as much as I do. I really do like being able to wear such a minimal makeup and still feel super confident and sexy with it, which is like, I feel like unheard of in my world because I never felt good not wearing foundation. Like foundation was like the number one. Like if I was gonna wear anything, it needed to be foundation to cover up all of my scarring and my darkness and redness and all of that. But I seriously feel so gorgeous and confident in this no foundation makeup routine. I also wanted to mention that this is great for face piercings that you're trying to heal. Like currently, you guys know that I got my nose pierced, and it's kind of hard to put your foundation on and like not get it in there, and then there's risk of like an infection because you can be getting bacteria from your brush in there and then getting the chemicals of the foundation in there and stuff. So this is is actually great if you have any facial piercings that you're currently in the middle of healing. It's nice to not have that product all around my open wound. So yeah, it's great for that, which is another reason why I've actually been wearing it so often lately. But yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And if you aren't subscribed already, please subscribe. It's free, girl. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.